What's going on, YouTube? My name is Ben and I am Baldman Gaming, and welcome back to the third episode of The Anchor featuring Logan Sargent. So in the last episode, our hero Logan, well, he didn't have a great time of it. He did crash out, and so we've replaced those parts, but Albon came in 13th, hitting our mark of 15th or better, and so we're getting just a little bit more money. We are actually on track to also possibly bring some new upgrades to Australia. So we have our side pods that could be ready. We have a rear wing that could be ready. And then if we also emergency do some suspension, that will be ready as well. And then the underfloor will be ready for Baku. Well, our side pods are done, and we have a decision to make. Do we just go and be patient and wait and just put side pods on one of the cars, or do we decide to emergency one of them? One is going to cost us 450,000, and then two is going to cost us 90. If we emergency one of them, we can do both. But if we emergency it, it's going to cost us 1.8. I think we go ahead and just be patient. We're not trying to win at constructors right off the bat. If I thought we were at that point, I might emergency it. But let's go ahead and be patient. Let's put in two. We'll be ready for both races at that point. We'll be ready for the next race, I should say. And so we should just rear wing is now done as well, and so we are going to go ahead and go in for two, so that by the time, not Melbourne, but not in Australia, but the next race, we will have both drivers driving with upgrades. And so let's go ahead and do that. Doesn't cost us too much. We also right now only have 3 slots, so I don't want to do 3 of them. So that we have a couple more upgrades coming. We have suspension and then underfloors, so we can try to get a couple of these things rolling before we go back and make replacements, especially because if I really need some rear wings, they can be made in 3 days. It's not too big of a deal, and you can't replace them during the race, and so it's not too big of a deal to keep those at 2 as we go along. Especially because we want to get suspensions going. Now that we've got a couple of these designs done, we're going to go ahead and start designing more things. So we have designed rear wing, side pods, underfloor, and suspension so far. So let's go ahead and go with the front wing. We've got a new ATR period here, so we're going to go ahead and spend a lot of it, as we only have 33 days, and so we are going to spend quite a bit of it as we go along here to make sure that we are spending it. It looks like 1.6 for 4 of them is going to look pretty good, and then there's 92, so we're going to go about 18. Hit next. No lifespan, really driving up these numbers as best we can. Take out some braking. We are going to have, so the reason why we put a lot of brake cooling in the suspension is so that we can sacrifice it later. So we're going to go ahead and sacrifice that brake cooling, and we're going to get just a little bit more on our cornering. So we're going to leave it just like this, so we can have just a little bit more cornering. If we saw for a couple other ones, is that the low speed is going to go up. Hopefully with all the upgrades, the medium speed will go up, and we can start pushing for points. That's the goal. Push for points in the next couple of races, so that we can start getting on the board, hopefully catching Alpine by the end of the year, so that we can have a great start to the next season. The next upgrade we're going to do is we're going to do the chassis. All right, so we're going to go 1.6. We are going to go with 18. And then we're going to bring no lifespan. And once again, there is a massive amount of cornering we can get from this. So let's go ahead and back off the engine. Let's keep some engine cooling. Let's back off of the top speed just a little bit. I know we've sacrificed in other places, but we can always come back and get more top speed if we need to. This will increase our engine cooling, once again helping our cornering out quite a bit, hopefully making big jumps, big strides towards some of the other teams. And then what happens if we do this? Nope, that's going to add some more top speed. So we're going to keep everything kind of in the middle. so that we can keep some of the top speed, since we are not terrible in that. I don't want to sacrifice all of it, but we are going to get way better in our high speed and medium speed cornering here. Once again, we're going to just do one engineer and we're going to let that go. I think what we're going to do is we're going to redo some more of our side pods. It just gets you a lot of cornering as we go. And so we're just going to put 1.8, 28 there. And then we're going to kill all of the lifespan once again. And then as you can see, our last upgrade was very significant in the cornering. And then maybe we go and add a little bit more top speed this time to see what we can do, get a little bit more speed in the car. So looking at the right now, it's just in the second car. So compared to the first one, you can see the difference that it makes. High speed is number 3 now, and in Albon's car it's number 11. And so we put the side pods on Logan, but you can see the absolute difference that makes. So he's now 9th here. Logan is 15th in acceleration, but adding maybe more top speed back so that we have like a really good car for power circuits might be a really good idea. And obviously we have some other cornering and stuff like that coming along as well, so we could be even higher in the high speed. So maybe adding some really good top speed and dominating those places that don't have a lot of DRS, but have a really good high speed cornering. I think might be able to take us to the next level. And then we will kind of kill out some more of that engine cooling to bring even more high speed cornering to that second to that top speed. I think that's what we want to do. And so this is after the first upgrade of the side pods. This is going to be the second upgrade to the side pods. And so bringing a lot of top speed to it, adding just a little bit more cornering. We could probably actually take out more cornering if we wanted to and add a little bit even more top speed. So let's do that. Let's go and try to bring back some of the top speed that we have sacrificed while not sacrificing any of the other cornering. So let's go ahead. We're just gonna have one guy on that, hit it, and that's our next design. And our final design, we're going to go once again with the rear wing. I know we're redoing 2 of them already. We can, and so we're going to redo 2 of these, and we are going to take away all of the lifespan, see where we are at. Right now we're sacrificing a lot of DRS. I don't want to sacrifice that much DRS. I would rather actually add on to DRS, if I'm being honest. Taking away maybe a little bit of the dirty air. We're getting, once again, a little bit more cornering. We're getting more DRS, but we're getting a ton of top speed. Last time we sacrificed some of the top speed in the rear wing. This time we're adding it back with these 2 things, with these 2 upgrades. If I don't mess with it anymore, we're almost gaining 1 kph, and that is a significant jump. And so I want to see how close to 1 kph we can actually get. This would get us, with the side pods and with this new rear wing, would get us 1 kph. So that's what I want to do. I want to add some of that top speed back, see what that looks like. I say we go with this. It takes away a little bit of the dirty air. I don't think 0.04 is going to make that big of a difference. We're keeping the cornering. We have enough DRS that we are one of the most effective we will be one of the most effective DRS. Right now, he's number 1 on the grid. This is Logan's car, and then we're going to jump from 11th to 7th. With just this, and then adding on the side pods. And so we are going to be quick. We are going to be fast, especially at the power circuits. Williams has always been fast at those, at top speed. They had great top speed. They had very poor cornering in real life. And so I want to make sure that we keep honoring that top speed. Once again, we're just going to add 1 engineer. Some people are saying that if you just have 1 engineer, it actually increases the expertise, which means that you can take bigger jumps as you go along. I am kind of testing that out just a little bit. And I want to see how that works. So we're going to confirm this. We're going to hit it, and we're going to hopefully see that in just a few races as well. But it is time to make sure that Albon has the new rear wing in. It doesn't look like he's going to get it. So Albon has all of the old things. So he has the old rear wing, old side pod, but Logan, the man of the man of the hour, the guy that we're getting behind, it has all of the new stuff. So he's got the new rear wing, he's got the new side pods. And so you can see if we compare both of these two cars, all right, if we compare both of our cars here, and so we have Albon versus Logan Sargent here, we can see that car number one has a little bit more speed. So this is Albon's side, and then this is Sargent's side. And so you can see we lost a little engine cooling, but his high speed is significantly better. His medium speed is better. His low speed is significantly better. He's first in DRS, 15th in acceleration compared to 18th. I know we sacrificed a little bit of top speed, but the last two designs, the side pods and the rear wing, are going to really help out with that to try to gain back the top speed loss that we had in the beginning, trying to get more cornering. And so we're going to start there today. So Sargent has the better car. Let's see if those changes can really help out Sargent as we go along. We're going to go ahead and add a couple more targets. So we're going to add this qualifying target to get a little bit more. They say fastest lap, which means we can get a good finishing position. We'll get some more qualifying streak, one driver in the fifth, basically getting Q2, which is the other goal as well. And we're going to try to get one driver to finish 15th or above in the next two races as well. Once again, bringing upgrades, maybe we can actually push for points. Probably Albon will push for points, probably not Sargent as much, but we'll see if we can push for points in those races. And so let's go ahead to Australia. All right, so Sargent, due to his crash, you can see the gearbox is low. So we're going to go ahead, swap out that gearbox, install it in car number 2 here. And so we are good to go on our quali. He's going in with a little less braking, a little less cornering. Albon's going in with loads of confidence, bumping up his numbers just a little bit. So hopefully Albon can hit the cutoff point. Maybe with the new upgrade, Sargent can as well. We'll see if we can get both drivers into Q2, but at least one of them, hopefully at least Albon will make it there just because he is the better driver of the two. All right, so here we go. We're going to start off with sending out Sargent first, and then we're going to send out Albon. All right, so we have a couple people coming out right in front of us, and so hopefully we can take Verstappen on that DRS. We do. And now going around the first couple of corners, hitting the next section of DRS, we're going to catch Joe. Hopefully not in that corner, but the next DRS, not bad. Sargent and Albon looking good. We'll see who gets the better quality time. My guess is it's going to be Albon. Sargent. Ooh, Sargent so far out qualifying Albon. Might be due to that extra DRS, maybe the extra cornering, maybe a combination of both. And so that's exciting. It looks like Sargent is going well. And so we are going to go ahead. We're going to bring him back into the paddock. Looks like De Vries he went into the pits. Perfect. And so Leclerc is not going to get in front of us. Perez is also on his flyer. And so we are not going to have to pass any sort of traffic. We have clean air the entire time. And so far, we have Logan Sargent setting great laps here, getting faster. Albon is not. I don't know what went on with Albon, but Logan Sargent improves upon his time, is now only 1.1 second behind Verstappen, so he improves by a tenth. But we're really focusing on these four. If all four go faster, Albon is out. So Hamilton is the first one to come by. Hamilton is faster than Albon. Here comes Piastri. Piastri is slower than Albon. Albon's going to make it to the next round. So we have two drivers in the next round. Here comes Russell. Is Russell going to get knocked out in round number 1 with Mercedes? And Russell jumps all the way to 6th. Okay, so Russell's fine. And then Joe comes by, and Joe's going to start in 20th. So we have two drivers that have qualified for Q2. Getting into the final DRS before we get into the final straight. Russell's going to start accelerating, so we're not going to catch Russell, but Sargent and Albon are going to cross the line. Looks like Sargent is going to crush Albon here. Yeah, Sargent, a better time than last time. I think he was in the 119s last time. Albon is 0.4 off of him.
Boxing.
Those upgrades are significant. So those first two upgrades have been significant. All right, so maybe Sargent is the one that can push for points. Can we push for points in our third race? That would be pretty great. Whoa! Sargent went faster than Stroll and is only 0.2 seconds behind the Ferrari. Wow! All right, so maybe points are on. Are points on? All right, so Checo's coming out right now. We're going to line it up Sargent right behind Checo. Oh man, looks like it is Gasly. So we're going to go up behind Gasly, and then Albon's going to come out right behind Sargent. We're going to try to stack them up here. See if Sargent can get a toe off of Gasly and Albon off of Sargent. Right now, as it stands, we are faster than Hamilton. We are faster than Gasly. And Albon is also making it. It looks like Albon just closed up on Sargent. He just put in a purple for the second sector for Albon. Albon, can you jump? No. Albon is knocked out in 12th. Magnussen just crossed the line here. Let's check it out. Magnussen just crossed the line, and so he's not going to get knocked out. Sargent makes it into Q number 3. So Logan Sargent into Q number 3. That is awesome. He is still faster currently than Hamilton and Hulkenberg. Where's Hulkenberg? Hulkenberg is about to cross the line here. Hulkenberg crosses the line. He doesn't jump Sargent. And so here comes Hamilton. Hamilton crosses the line. Is he going to jump Sargent? He is going to jump Sargent. So Logan Sargent, 8th. All right, so Alonso's coming out. We're going to go ahead and follow Alonso. It seems like Aston Martin stays up there for a little while. Oh, spun. And so Logan Sargent comes across, and he is 119.016. He is 0.5 slower than he was before. Alonso did have a better lap. I'm getting really excited. I know. Maybe we need to temper our expectations, although Hulkenberg, that wasn't a good lap by Hulkenberg. Nobody else come out of the pits, please. There goes Verstappen. We're by him. I don't think we're catching Russell on his out lap. And so Logan Sargent, we've got a yellow, a green. It really depends on this last leg here. In a green, he's going to jump Stroll. Just jump Stroll, still not as fast as he has been. Look, I'm happy that we made it into Q number 3. That's the highest we've been so far. All right, so the forecast we've got just a little bit of rain. We've qualified 10th, so maybe if we can just hold on to 10th, we get some points for the first time this year. But let's see what this rain is going to look like. I do not have a good weather center. I'm not even sure if that's going to be high enough for inters until maybe lap 50. 0.8 millimeters is where that crossover is. Otherwise, you're faster on the dry tires. You know what? I think it's just gonna be a dry tire race. And so we're gonna have just a little bit of fun here, and we're gonna get very aggressive on what we are doing with our drivers. I think we do that. And the reason why is because he's starting a little bit more up front. Let's see if we can stay out in front of people, let them pit cycle, and then go on the hards so that we don't get stuck behind some of the slower cars before they pit cycle. And so the hope would be like that we get people with a bunch of sauce while we're on our hards, and they accelerate in front of us and then pit again and end up behind us again when they are not on softs anymore. I don't know. I've seen it. I felt like this has worked especially when you're starting up front or your guy's just terrible at passing. All right, guys. So the 5 red lights are going on. Here we go. Our best starting position with Logan Sargent. So we're going to start on Logan. How is he looking on the start? Not good. Albon is past Logan on the start. Well, we had our best position in Albon from 13th jumped straight to 10th. Sargent has already lost 2 positions, and Albon has jumped 3. He might lose that position to Hulkenberg, though. So I guess we'll look at Albon for a little bit, see if he can repass Hulkenberg. He is on the reds, and Hulkenberg is on the mediums, so hopefully we can see just a little bit here, a little bit out of those tires to complete the pass on Hulkenberg. And there's the pass on Hulkenberg. Sargent is dropped all the way to 13th, and Albon's in 10th. They flip positions. They flip positions. Oh man, we could probably take Gasly as well, as he's on the mediums as well. We're on the softs, so think hopefully Albon can make that pass. Maybe not on the first 2 laps, but once. Oh, he goes and lunges. Oh, go Albon! Albon gets right by Gasly, and now Albon's going to go and try to catch Alonso, Russell, and Hamilton.
Okay, that's good.
Try to make sure that he gets DRS off them once we get across the line here. What a move by Albon. What a first lap by Albon. Albon took 4 people. 4. Maybe, you know, if Logan wasn't the one we were trying to build this team around, we would have given Albon the upgrade. So did we make a mistake? Should we not have favored Logan in the beginning? No, we should favor Logan all the entire time. Favoring Logan the entire time. I don't care if Max Verstappen's on the team, Logan Sargent is our man. If Sargent can continue to get DRS on these guys, that's what it looks like that could happen. If Sargent can continue to get DRS, remember, he has the #1 DRS. Multiple cars have crashed. What's going on? Any of us? Well, it's not Sargent. Let's see who's crashed. I mean, hopefully it's people in front of us. Oh, it's Piastri. It's Piastri and Joe. Let's see what happened here. That's a little innocence. There might be a little front wing damage on one of them, but that's okay. All right, here comes Sargent. Pulling out to the inside. Doesn't look like he's going to get it. Let's go on high overtake. Oh my goodness, why is Sargent, like, his driver confidence is in the toilet? Albon is at peak confidence, and Russell is not going to have DRS. And so Albon, peak confidence, is going to get DRS on Russell. His DRS is not nearly as good as Sargent's, so just remember that. He's not going to catch him here, but can Sargent possibly make a move on the AlphaTauri? Not quite. Debris stays in front of Sargent here. But hopefully some good DRS here. Not quite either. So hopefully on the... Oh! Oh! Valtteri! No, something is not right. I think we've got front wing damage. We do have front wing damage. You are okay. How's your tires? Lost 6 positions. I can't believe we just lost 6 positions. We got the penalty! I get the penalty! Bottas hit ice! Bottas hit ice! What? How did we get the penalty? Bottas went us and he didn't turn. Oh my gosh. We do not deserve that penalty. We don't deserve that penalty. As the FIA has it out for Logan Sargent, the stewards have it out for Logan Sargent. Okay, so fuck. Logan Sargent did not crash into Bottas. It's a 5-second penalty, and he has front wing damage. All right, we got to move on. Albon's doing pretty well here. Keeping up with Russell. All right, let's see if we can overtake Russell right here on this next DRS. Albon is going here. I mean, Sargent has 0 confidence at this point, but hopefully Alexander Albon has some confidence going in. Get Russell being aggressive here. Gonna go pull to the inside of Russell. Russell pulls to the inside. Is that blocking? They say no. And then Albon takes the inside, brakes a little bit later than Russell does. Russell gets the acceleration out of the corner. And then Albon's once again is going to continue with the inside on that one. And then Russell is going to have the inside on Albon. And then hopefully we have not passed Russell right at the DRS point. And Russell's going to have DRS on Albon this time. So Russell's going to pull away from Albon. Couldn't quite complete the pass. That's okay. We were going to try to pull in front again just a little bit later. He is still in peak confidence. There's another yellow flag. Oh, Sargent has scooted up. VSC. All right, this is the time. This might be the time that we put in. Should we put Sargent in, or I think that just gets his tires to be okay. Let's go conserve here. Let's top up on let's harvest ERS for him. Let's top up on Albon because we want to make sure we stay with Russell. Gasly is right behind Albon. He is right there, right up right behind Albon. You might take Albon on this next DRS. Oh, Albon with a good, that with a good move. That's a little sketch, but looks like he was just pulling back into the racing line. That's what we're gonna say. Gasly couldn't pull in front of Albon there. And so Gasly's going to try to take Albon on the next part of the DRS. Albon has positioned his car beautifully. Beautiful. Great racing line for Albon. That's going to help him stay in front of Gasly. Gasly's going to try to come right back at Albon. He's going to pull right up to his bumper on the first part of this DRS as they go into the chicane here. And now he's going to try to pull out in front of Albon. But once again, Albon doing a beautiful job defending is going to be able to shut the door. So Albon shuts the door again. And so Gasly is getting backed up by Albon. That is beautiful driving by Albon. He's got 4 laps until he comes into the pits. Gasly pulls right up to the back of Albon once again, hitting the second part of the DRS. Albon takes the inside. Gasly's kind of in the middle. Albon is going to take the middle, and Gasly almost hits Albon right in the rear, and Albon continues to shut the door on Gasly. This time, Gasly tries to go to the inside of Albon, isn't aggressive enough, and Albon has been able to keep Gasly behind him, and so Albon this time is going to take the inside. Gasly looks like he's working the middle to the outside, but once again, Albon has kept his racing line and has positioned his car perfectly to keep Gasly behind him. And there's another yellow flag. Sargent locked up. Is Sargent okay? Sargent's fine. He didn't hit anything. We're good. We're good. Let's watch the replay.
Now, Doug, they were just unable to do much about it.
Well, that's not terrible. That wasn't bad. He did crush his tires a little bit. The first couple of cars are coming in. It looks like both Mercedes, they're double stacking. And that was perfectly timed by Mercedes. Well done by Mercedes to time those pit stops perfectly. As Hamilton was leaving, Russell was pulling right in. Albon's going to pull in perfectly. He lost he lost out to Ocon and Gasly, so it's time to come in and hopefully undercut those two. We want a really good pit stop here. Really good pit stop, boys. Here we go. 2.749. Not the worst, not the best.
Busy pit exit.
And so Albon's going to come out 13th, it looks like. But part of what we've done is that as everybody else was most likely pushing, we've saved some of our fuel to go ahead and push now. Albon is probably going to come out ahead of Tsunoda, Hülkenberg, and Ocon. Oh, that looks like Ocon up there. So he's going to come out most likely ahead of... Oh, that was Hülkenberg. So Ocon has dropped him, has done the overcut and has dropped him by about 4 seconds. So hopefully Albon can catch Hülkenberg here and get him on, get some... Whoa! Speaking of Ocon, there's a VSC. This is the time. Sargent's going in at the perfect time. Albon saves some tires, save some more fuel, top up. Let's harvest with you. You're going to harvest and you're going to also conserve. We caught that live. Ladies and gentlemen, caught that live. That looks like Ocon is going to be out. That is just going to make it possibly a little bit easier for us to get points with Albon. Now, the issue with this is that Albon has gone into the pits and has not had enough time to catch back up to some of these guys who are probably going to pit on this VSC. All right, Sargent in the pits. Let's see where he's going to come out. He has a penalty to serve. We're changing out his front end as well. And then we are also going to be replacing the tires. You can see this is Piastri. So look at my cursor. Piastri is right here. He's currently in 18th. He's also got some softs on. And so let's see if we can get the nose on. Good work, guys. Get him out the pits. Get him out the pits. There we go. It's possible that we will be out before Piastri. Piastri is right there. We are right there, and we are going to get the corner before Piastri. So Sargent gets the corner before Piastri. Virtual safety car is ending, and so we're going to go push, go on attack. We're going to go neutral for the ERS attack. We're going to push and we're going to go neutral on the ERS. We have so much more fuel saved than everybody else, hopefully, because we didn't spend it after the last VSC, that we're going to try to spend it here, and people are going to go and be very fast first, and then hopefully we can go ahead and catch them by the end of the run. Piastri's on softs right now. We're on hard, so it's not surprising that is going to happen, but hopefully by keeping on attack, Piastri will not be able to pull away from Sargent, and Sargent can actually use the DRS to go just a little bit faster. And then he has a DRS train behind him. There's another yellow flag. What happened? Multiple cars have crashed. Are you kidding me, Sargent? The new side pods! All right, well, hopefully he's fine. His tires got crushed a little bit here. So let's go in aggressive and try to make up some on those tires. Stroll's in the pits. Piastri had to go to the pits. That's a great angle. Look at this angle, everybody. Look at that. This is fantastic. Sargent got another penalty. Another one. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. It probably wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. I'm going to declare right now. I haven't seen it. I didn't get to watch it. It wasn't his fault. Another yellow. What else has happened? A competitor crash. Alonso's crashed. He was in second. What's this crash look like? Well, we saw that he went off the track. He's back on. We don't know what happened. All right, so here's where I don't know if we picked the right strategy. Because the rain is starting, I just don't know if it's going to get to the point where we need to go to inters. That's the question. Is everybody else counting on the inters having to put on, which is why they went for the softs? Like, Hulkenberg is just extending his soft life. I don't understand. He's chilling and we can't catch him. So we're pretty well into the rain right now. Albon's holding strong behind Hulkenberg. But I'm not entirely sure if it's going to get much worse where we have to go to inters. Or if the pitting for inters is just not worth it, because it looks like you might be able to use inters for these laps, but then it drops back to where we are right now, which is not interweather. And then it might end maybe on inters? But I'm not sure if it's worth pitting, and that's why I had a hard time when we were picking the strategy. Is what do I do? Do I risk inters? Do I plan on putting on inters, or do I think that using the dry tires is going to get us across the line? Because it's only 5 laps for inters. It's not worth putting on inters. All right, so here's the question. All right, so people are starting to dive into the pits. Everybody but Red Bull has dove into the pits. Everybody but Red Bull. So here's. We're at almost the peak. We're at almost the peak of this. And so they're going to put inters on. It's going to be right about 0.8. This is what I'm talking about. It's going to be right about 0.8 for about 5 laps. And then it dives back down below 0.8. 0.8 is the period where it does switch. And so it goes back down. I think we stay. I think we stay pat with what we were doing. Because it goes back down. But I think we follow Red Bull. I don't think that it's going to do it. And plus, if we ruin the race, it doesn't, I guess it doesn't matter too much. Maybe Sargent can make up some spots. I mean, is Hulkenberg diving in? Hulkenberg's not going in. But Albon is going to pass people. Albon gets by Alonso, gets by Russell. Norris is going in. Piastri is going in. But the 2 Red Bull teams are not. And that's my question is, did they all dive in? They dove in for inters. But Red Bull also has inters. Hulkenberg doesn't. Everybody's going on to inters. I mean, so the question is how much slower are we? I know the crossover point is 0.8. Where inters are viable. I mean, it's for 5 laps. Now, Hulkenberg's going in for inters. We're going to stay out for another lap. I want to see how slow we are compared to these 31s. 127. I want to see what happens in another lap. Right now, we're in the points. Are these guys making up time on us? Yeah, it looks like they're starting to make time up on us now. Okay, they are definitely going faster than we are at this point. I just don't think it's going to get any wetter than this. And so if they've wasted 20 seconds going on to something that makes them a second or 2 faster, but if it only lasts 5 laps, You've wasted 20 seconds. I've gained 10 seconds, right? And if I'm going now faster. I just want to know, how much slower are we going? Oh, they're going much faster than us. Oh, wow, they're going much faster than us. Wow, that might have been worth it. That might have been worth it for them. I mean, how many more laps do we have? 5. And it probably ends on inters too. I'm not entirely sure what to do. I'm gonna go like this and
Manage these tires.
and the reason I'm going aggressive is because if we can extend these tires to where then we can put inters on, I don't know. If we can extend the tires past the time where when the dries are better again, are they going to pit again? And there goes Russell. I mean, he just straight pulled away from us. I think I've made a mistake, everybody. I think I made a mistake. I'm so sorry. We should have gone inters. I think I made a mistake. We should have gone inters. I mean, how can you tell? I should have. Since the last update, the AI is right. The AI is right. That last update, the AI was made to be right. Where's Alonso? Alonso's still following along. We've still got 9th right now. I think at this point, I have to actually. I think at this point, I have to stay. And I've got to risk that this part goes back down and we will be faster again. And see if we can make up ground that way. And then once it looks like it's going back up, maybe switch to inters. But we might have just screwed up so that we can't get into the points. I should have done what the AI was doing. I should have done what the AI was doing. I mean, Russell is almost 9 seconds ahead of us from where he passed us. Alonso's going to try to get around us again. I think Albon has positioned his car beautifully once again to keep Alonso behind us. Albon's having a great race. Whatever my call was, it was not the greatest of calls. Most likely, we'll see by the end. But, oh, he's got him here. He's got him here. Yep, let him go by. Oh, we're going to end up behind Hulkenberg and most likely Norris. All right, it's starting to dry out a little bit. Hulkenberg got by us too. And it doesn't look like it's going to dry out enough. I think I've screwed up this race. I think I screwed up the race. I guess we're going to go ahead and bring him in for inters. This lap. Oh man, that's disappointing. All right, after pit stops, Albon has come out in 13th, so we've only dropped a couple. We're gonna go attacking, and there goes first place. Oh, just points were on. We made a mistake in misreading the tea leaves, not following what we should have done, which is to follow the AI. We have better straight line speed than the AlphaTauri. And so hopefully we can pass him with the spare battery that we have. There we go. Logan's not going to end up in last, but he's had a disappointing race after he's gotten 2 penalties and he damaged the new side pods, and Albon's faster than Norris right now. We still could have made points. I'm so disappointed. Verstappen wins. He lapped all the way up to Hulkenberg. He lapped a guy who gets points. That's insane. And Sargent should be crossing here any second. Sargent crosses. He takes the checkered. Albon's gonna cross and take 12th. What's disappointing about this? What's disappointing about this race is that points were on. Sargent crashed in the beginning. I'm blaming Bottas. I think that was Bottas's fault, not Sargent's. And he ended up being 2 laps down. Crashed into, I think it was Piastri. Had another penalty. Had to change out the front wing. Damaged the new side pods. I made the wrong call staying out. Albon dropped from 8th to 12th. And it just ended up being more of a disappointing race than anything else. Here's the good news, though. There is a bright side. We did hit our goal. Our goal was to have a driver finish 15th or above, and we did that with Albon without any of the new upgrades. For Baku, that's the next one. We're like 26 days away. We should be able to bring some more upgrades in there. 25 days until Baku. It'll be our first sprint race of the season. First sprint race of the season in Baku. That's one where you can throw on reds and just go on attack the entire time. Maybe Baku will be our first points of the season as we're bringing some major upgrades to Baku, especially in Albon's car, and we won't make the same mistakes as we did in this episode. And well, thank you guys for joining me. My name is Ben, and I am Baldman Gaming. So long, peace out. I'll see you guys next time.